this video we'll talk about the t-test. Right, what is the t-test? T-test is basically used to check the means, and it can be two means, it can be one means. We try to check either there is a significant difference in the mean or not. If there are two means, we try to check two means, either there is a difference between the two means or not. Right, so basically there are two types of the t-test. We have categorized in a two way. One is the for one sample t-test, and the second is for two sample t-test. Right. Here we try to check only one mean, and here we try to check only one mean. But for two sample t-test, they are categorized. We have categorized in a two way. One is the pair t-test, and the second is the unpaired t-test. Right. So we will discuss this one by one. First we will discuss the one sample, and then we will discuss the pair and unpaired t-test. Right. So here you can see in a one sample t-test. Right. Here in a one sample t-test where we try to check one sample mean, either there is a significant difference or not. Here the claim that the average weight of the student is 55, equal to 55, and the alternative hypothesis says that is not equal to 55. Right, it can be greater or less. Right, and that is the claim we have been made. Right, now we have to validate either by supporting or rejecting it. How can we do this? We will take a sample. We take a sample. Here we have taken the sample of 10 students, where we can see the weight. Right, here you can see the weight. Right, now what we do, we set the threshold 0.05. Right, after setting the threshold, based on this sample, we will calculate the statistics test. Right, after calculating the statistics test with this formula, which is nothing but the x bar minus mu sample variance divided by n is nothing but the numbers. Right, so with the help of this sample, we calculate this t-test with this formula. Then once we calculate the t-test t-value, we will subtract it from minus, and we will calculate the p-value. Once we calculate the p-value, we will see if it is greater or less. If it is less, then we reject the null hypothesis, and we will able to say that average weight of the students is not equal. Right, and we will support this, and we reject the null hypothesis when the p-value is less than alpha. Right, if it is greater than p-value is greater than alpha, we support the null hypothesis, and we will able to say that yes, the average weight of the student of that school is 55. Right, so here how we use the one sample t-test. Right, and one sample t-test where we try to check the one mean, right, of the one sample. Right, and mostly not mostly, but it is used t-test is used for the continuous variable. Continuous variable means like age, height, salary. Right, for the continuous kind of variable, t-test is used. Here you can see the weight is continuous variable. Right, so t-test basically used for the check the means. Right, here we have discussed one sample mean, one sample t-test. Now let's come to discuss the two sample t-test. What is two sample t-test? Listen, in a two sample t-test, which is nothing but unpaired. What does it mean by unpaired? Unpaired means we take two samples, the different samples. sample 1, sample 2. Which is unpaired and one is a paired. Now what is the unpaired, what is the pair? We will discuss this right now. Now the t-test for the two sample, which is the unpaired t-test. Now what is the unpaired t-test? Unpaired t-test is nothing where we take the two different samples, right? They are both are independent, means we have taken the sample differently. Weight A, student group of A, weight and group of B student, which is this, right? What we do in an unpaired t-test, we try to check the either there is a significant difference in the mean or not. We will take the samples, we will calculate we'll state the null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. We will set the threshold. We will calculate the t-test with the help of this formula, which is nothing but this formula. This is the sample mean of A, which is the sample mean of B. This is the population mean of A, the population mean of B, and sample variance, and this is the numbers of the samples, right? Weight A and weight B. With the help of these, we will calculate the t-test. With the help of t-test, we will calculate the p-value. If the p-value greater than alpha, we will support it, and when we support it, if it is p-value less than alpha, we will reject it. So what does it mean by the supported? If the p-value is greater than alpha, we are able to say that yes, there is no significant difference. There is no significant difference the weight of the group A and the weight of the group B. There is no significant difference in the means. There is no significant difference in the means of the weight A group A weight and group B weight. That is what the null hypothesis said. If our p value is greater than alpha, we will support that there is no significant difference in the mean of these two samples. If the p value is less than alpha, we are able to say there is a significant difference in the mean of weight A and weight B, right? And we will reject the null hypothesis. And that is what the unpaired t-test, where we try to check we will use the paired t-test, right? Paired t-test is used when we try to check the sample means before and after the effect. Here I have given example. This is the patients and diabetes patients weight, right? This is the diabetes patient weights. In 2008 we have measured, and after 1 year when we calculated the weights of the diabetes same diabetes patients group, right? So this is the diabetes patient's weight in 2008, and when we check these diabetes patient weight in 2019, means after the 1 year, right, we calculated this weight, and there's a difference of the diabetes patient weight after the 1 year. This is calculated in 2018, this is calculated in the 2019 of the similar group, right? When we try to calculate the mean of the similar group after the effect, and when we try to check the difference, when we try to check the significant difference, we will use the t-test, pair t-test, and similar steps we will follow. We will state the null hypothesis. Null hypothesis is saying there is no difference after the 1 year in the mean. In the alternative hypothesis saying there is a difference in the mean after the 1 year of the diabetes patient's weight. We'll state the significance level alpha. I will calculate the statistics test of the t-test with this formula. If it is p value is greater than alpha, we will say that we will support the null hypothesis, and we are able to say that there is no significant difference after the 1 year in the diabetes patient weight. There is no significant difference in the mean of the diabetes patient weight after the 1 year. If it is less than alpha, if the p value is less than alpha, means the probability is very, very low to support the null hypothesis, and we will reject the null hypothesis, and we are able to say there is a significant difference in the mean after the lockdown, after the 1 year. After the 1 year, there is a significant difference in the mean weight after the 1 year of the diabetes patients. That is why how we use the paired t-test and unpaired t-test. In unpaired t-test, we use the two different samples and try to see the significant difference in the mean. In the paired t-test, where we try to see the difference in the samples before and after the effect, right? That is why we use the paired t-test. So that's all about in this video.